Okay, everyone, welcome back to Breslov Efrat here at Shira David. Today we're in the classroom because there's a birthday party upstairs today. I said it's a Winnie the Pooh's birthday or something.
Something like that. It looks like it.
I love the Anhola over here. They're great. They're great.
The what?
The Anhola, the management in this shul, yeah. They have their priorities. They're great. They're great. Baruch Hashem. Anyway, so today we're learning our Sefira project, Sefrat Lachem, and today is Hayom Chamisha v'Arbaim Yom Shem Shisha Shavuos v'Shloisha Yom Loma. So today's the 45th day of the Omer. It's the 6 weeks and 3 days. Huh? Okay, Baruch Hashem. And today is the Midah of Tferes Shebemalchus. Right? It's really grand, Tferes, right? Splendor, right? And Malchus, kingship, the splendor of the kingdom of Hashem. Isn't that
What does
nice?
splendor mean?
That's that stuff you put in your coffee. No.
I was thinking about it.
That's first is Yaakov,
Yeah.
Yaakov.
Yaakov. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, so this is a beautiful midah, and sometimes we like to take a lot of credit for ourselves. We like to make sure we do everything good for ourselves. When it comes to mitzvahs and masim tovim, we sometimes something a little less will do, right? Something a little less will do, right? So sometimes, for example, you may have a guy that he'll have to drive a certain car and he has to wear a certain watch, right? And he needs a certain suit and shoes and all of that. But then when it comes to he has to buy a pair of tefillin, well, give me the medium one. I don't need the I don't need the best one, Everything else has to be the best, but when it comes to that. So that's really what this midah is about, is to take the tferes away and place the tferes to Hashem where it really belongs, right? Give it over, like we say, Zek Keli V'Anveyu, right? When you buy something nice, you say, Zek Keli V'Anveyu, I'm doing this for you, Hashem. I'm buying the best that I can. I do the best that I can. When it comes to me, I want to put more into you, Hashem. That's really what the midah is really all about. He says like this, Yitein el Adam, Libakedeshi Yizker Lahamlich Es Habayri Yizbarach Olav, Lakabel Atzmei Ol Malchus Shemayim. If you want to truly make HaKadosh Baruch Hu the king in the world, and especially in your life, in our lives, right? Yesh le lahamit b'tferes atzmai. So we have to limit the tferes of ourselves. We have to limit our own, what's a good word you want to use for that? Shalom? You want to limit your tferes of atzmai.
Self-aggrandizement.
No.
Aggrandizement.
What's the word?
Aggrandizement.
Aggrandizement. Wow.
Self-aggrandizement.
That's a good word. Wow.
Magnificent.
Magnificent. Like lower down. Basically, like I explained to you. Basically, it means like this: that don't put so much in to all your physical things, right? Put in more into Hashem. Put more time into the laharbis b'tferes u'shleibis habaris barak. Give more tferes. Give more splendor to Hashem. Give Hashem really is where we were supposed to be, because that becomes eternal. See, anytime we do things for ourselves, we buy things for ourselves, right? If we're buying it for the sake of just the thing itself, right? If you buy yourself something nice, you buy yourself a good coffee because you want to be able to think clearly, to learn better. That's a different story, right? That's fine, because if you're trying to do it that way. But if you're buying it, what's that, David? But if you're buying something just for the sake of the thing itself, just for the sake of the thing itself, that's what we're learning here today. We're supposed to limit, okay? It's an interesting idea. It's an amazing idea. But if you really want to take upon oneself, and you want to be able to have the whole Malchus Shemayim, that's what we're learning about in Shema, the whole thing. Right? It's been Mekabel all Malchus Shemayim. Accept Hashem. This is your mission. If you choose to accept it, right? This is what it is, right? We have to accept the mission of serving HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And it's really an honor that we have, right? It's a privilege that Hashem gives us to be able to serve Him. It's a privilege. If we realize that, right? If we take things and we put it into the proper perspective, right? You understand, right, guys?
Yeah, I found that I always had a hard time doing that but today I don't, because I really want to praise Hashem and I want to beautify what I'm doing.
Right, but that itself is a privilege that you can praise Hashem. That's a privilege. And then when you see something as a privilege, you deal with it in a different way. Right?
I know, but I could never get to that paradigm until later in life, because I was
Okay.
brought up in the United States and had to have the house and the car and the girl,
Whatever. Look, Hashem
it's just,
brings us all to the place that we're supposed to be, to become who we're supposed to be. And then we're learning what we're supposed to do. That's all. Right? Baruch Hashem. And many Svarim talk about this, right? And they talk about this idea, right? Nimsa kishadoirish v'lasais es harotzen habaris baruch b'shleimus mashlo masik es midas hamalchus. And like we said yesterday, when you learn, tell things over to people, right? Teach people, do things, bring up the splendor of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the Malchus of Hashem. Bring up the splendor, the Malchus of Hashem. Today, the Kenyan Torah is amazing. They're all amazing. They're all from Chazal. This one is Kenyan Torah says Haloimed al menas lasais. You hear this? This is the best one of them all. I learn to be able to perform, to know how to perform the mitzvahs. I'm learning, right? Al menas lasais. I'm learning on the condition I want to be able to learn, to do, to fulfill. Is that amazing? Yeah. Years ago, this goes back when it was my oldest son. It was his bar mitzvah. So we were at the party. It was actually in South Shore. We made it in the gym over there. So Rabbi Weinberger was there, and I was sitting. He sat down next to me. Baruch Hashem, it was wonderful. And I was talking to him, and I said to him, this thing we learned about with Shabbos. We were learning something in Indian of Shabbos. I said, I tried. It was mamish. It was really wonderful. So he looked at me. He says, "You really did that?" So I said, "Really? Well, what's the point? What's the whole point? We learn to do, right?" So he says, "Yeah, but most people," he says, they're learning just so they have information, but they're not necessarily learning to do." That's what he said. I was surprised. I was really surprised when he told me that. But I thought about it. And this is really what it means. I'm learning not on the condition that I just have a lot of information. I want to be able to do more. I want to be able to do more mitzvahs. I want to be able to learn how to learn. I want to be able to perform and accomplish much more. And that's the reason why I'm learning. You understand that? Is that an amazing idea? No, the reason I'm learning is so I learn how to do. Like they say, it's not the learning is the ikar, it's the mice is the ikar. Right? You learn in order to be able to do the thing, to know how to do the mitzvahs. Right? The learning is not the main thing, it's the performance of the mitzvahs is the main thing. Yes, and Talmud Torah is kineged kulam, of course, but you have to still perform mitzvahs, right? So that's a beautiful idea. Haloimed al menas lasei. So you learn in order to do. Learn to know how to perform the mitzvahs and to see the beauty in the mitzvahs, so you want to do the mitzvahs. Okay, so that's the day 45, Baruch Hashem, the midah of Tferes Shebemalchus. So pretty much lower down how much comforts and we give to ourselves, and give a little bit more to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Okay, give a little more to Hashem. And I like the example that I gave. I have a friend of mine that's a Sefira, and he always tells me that, he has these rich guys come in, and then when it comes to buying clay kodesh, they buy it. And he's always laughing by that. The guy's wearing, a $30,000 Rolex watch, you understand, right? And he comes in the pair of tefillin. Well, it's $2,000. What?
I'll get for 18.
2,000.
Can I get a little? You understand?
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have any other colors.
2,000 is fun.
Hmm?
2,000 is a good fun. No?
Yeah.
You can get a pretty decent pair of tefillin with
Oh
2,000.
yeah. I was thinking shekels.
Not shekel, dollars.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
I was by Mitzvah, the top of the line was $100.
Oh, yeah. Now you're dating yourself. Okay.
You date yourself?
Well, if
Where'd he go?
the
these
pair
days?
of Gosses tefillin, Gosses were $100.
I wish I had bought one back then.
Yeah, you could have bought.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the quality today is so much better. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
$100 was 2 weeks salary.
I mean, you look at the tefillin, from today, and you look at tefillin from 50 years ago. I mean, the quality is unbelievable.
High tech.
No, really, they perfected everything so nice. It's unbelievable what we have today. It's unbelievable. See, my Moshe Rabbeinu, we'll meet Moshe Rabbeinu, it's Hashem, will show him a pair of tefillin to us. Wow, how did you do that? Could you imagine, right? Right, the tzaddikim, right? You showed them that this is what you taught us how to make. They're beautiful, right? Baruch Hashem. Okay.
20, yeah, it was at the factory, whatever, the tefillin. The sheen on the side is
Yeah.
being pressed with the press 20 ton.
20-ton press, yeah.
20-ton press.
They pressed it, yeah.
Makes the the sheen.
But it's done by yad because the guy's still pulling the
I
thing.
did it myself.
You did, okay, so there you go, that's it, yeah.
Unbelievable.
It's unbelievable, but it comes out mamish perfect, beautiful. It looks like it's almost, they do it so beautiful, it looks like it's glued on. Right? You understand what he's saying? The shin on the tefillin, they press it. They have a press, a 20-ton press. And it has the imprint of the shin. So when they press it, it's amazing, the technology. Even the way we make matzah today. Right, where they have the thing that they right, it's unbelievable. The technology is unbelievable. Baruch Hashem, that's all part of Zek Keli Vandeyu. Okay, let's learn Likutey Halachos. And again, we learn for the well-being of the chayalim and the chatufim, the soldiers and the captives, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu should figure out a way that mamash to bring them all home safely, speedily, and end all of this nonsense with all of our enemies, and just rid the world from all of this evil. Wow. It's a big order. It's a tall order. But for HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you can do it mamash in an instant. Mamash in an instant. In mamash in an instant. Okay. So we're learning Likutey Halachos, Hilchos Kriya Shema. Today we're in Halacha Hey, and we're learning Dalet. Okay, today is 5-4. 5-4. This is, like I told you, this is the last lesson that we have in Likutey Halachos in Kriya Shema. We spent a little bit of time on it, and hopefully we have a little better understanding of what Kriya Shema is, right? And the times that we learn, and why we say it, how we do it, and all of it, like we learned over the past maybe 100 hours, right?
We got a lot more to go until we finish the chapter.
It's not that long.
It's a few days.
Okay. But this is the final one. Rav Nassan's going to review a lot of different things. So here we go. With Siyata Dishmaya. So we're learning today. Good morning, Rav Simcha. So we're going to learn today that there are 12 words and 49 letters. Okay, so in Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad, and Baruch Shem Kivay Malchusay Li'olam V'od, is 12 words. Okay, and we learned it's 49 letters. It's fascinating. We have 12 Shvatim, right? 12 words, 12 Shvatim. And then we learned the 49 letters is the names of the 49 Shvatim, right? There are 49 letters in all of the 12 Shvatim. If you write out their names and you count up the letters, there are 49. Isn't that amazing how meticulous that is? 12 Shvatim, 12 words, 49 letters, and the names of this 12 Shvatim equal to 49. It's fascinating. Sefira is also 49, right? Okay, okay. It's mind-boggling. Okay. Here we go. V'zeh Dalet. Here we go. V'zeh bechinas ma sheyesh shteim esrei tevos b'psukei Shema u'Baruch Shem keneged shneim also shvatim. Right, like I just said to you, right? So you have Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad Baruch Shem Kivay Machusay Lenavod is 12 words, okay? And that's because there are 12 shvatim. They correspond to each other. Okay, very good. Okay, Rabbi Nachman brings that down in lesson 36, as we learned before. Lesson 36, we learned. Okay, v'chein heim kineged shneim also chadoshim u'shneim also shois hayom. Now there's also 12 months, right? How do you like that? In Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. Baruch Shem, you're talking about the 12 months. The whole year is in there. The whole year is in those statements. And not only that, you have the 12 hours of the day. Like we said, it's divided up. You have 12 hours a day, 12 hours at night, right? 20, that makes you 24 hours, right? Keneged Shteim also Tzirufei Havaya. That is also 12 different denominations that you can make from the Hashem's name, because it's 4 letters, right? 4 letters, so you can come up with 12 different possibilities of the. Now today's possibility for Chodesh Sivan, if you took a look in your siddur, so when you say the bracha in Musaf, it's Yud Vav Hey Hey. That's today's denomination, right? Every month there's another. You know that, Sasha? You didn't know that? Wow, Emet? Yeah, okay. So you're gonna look at this. Here, I want to show you this. Well, it's a good thing we came just to do this, because they say if you want your tefillah to be answered in Musaf, you have to know these things. So here, let's see. It's going to be right over here. Here, take a look here. The tzirufei of the chadashim. See that? You can study that for a moment, okay? Each month has a different pasuk that goes together with it. It gives you the tzerif of the month. Did you know that, Reb Shalom? No? Okay, so I'll show you that too. You take a look at it. The Shlach Kodesh brings that down. You ever seen that? Okay. Take a picture of it and study it, okay? It's very good. It's a very good lesson, right there. So there are 12 different, if you want, I'll write it out for you guys. You can put it in your siddur. When you say the bracha in Musaf, right before Modim, right, you say the last bracha. So you say Baruch Atah Hashem. You're supposed to have in mind the what's the word that you would say? Denominate, not denominate. The permutation. The permutation of the word, of how you put the letters, how the letters are divided. Okay, so sometimes it's in Chodesh Nisan it's Yud Kei Vav Kei, the way it is. Then it switches over. Each month is a different permutation. Shkaya, thank you very much. Okay, very good.
These are all the different permutations that could be.
That could be, yeah. Because it's 12, right?
This is 4 letters. So this is
4 letters, so you can make 12 different permutations.
It's 3. That's 3. That's 4. It's 12. Yeah.
You agree with that? Okay, good. Baruch Hashem. Baruch Hashem. Okay. Ki kol shneim also chadashim, v'chol shneim esrei shois hayoim, heim klal hazman. That includes all time, right? When you have, if you have the 12 months, the 12 segments of hours, right? You do it you have to say the Tviyah Shema in the Erev and the Voker, right? In the morning and at night. So if you have to say the Erev and the Voker, so then you have all time segments are included in there. We agree, right? V'chein kol hashneim also shivatim sheim klal kol b'nei Yisrael kulam kalulim b'kriyas Shema. All the 12 shvatim, which is inclusive of all of Klal Yisrael. All of Klal Yisrael, all time, months, years, everything is all included in the statement of Shema. Is that amazing? Come on. Where would you ever hear this before? Come on. Who would ever know such a thing? right? That it's connected to the Shvatim, and it's not only connected to the Shvatim, it's connected to the names of the Shvatim. It's connected to the 12 months. It's connected to the 12-hour segments. Huh? Pretty good. דהיינו שכל אחד ואחד מבני ישראל יש לו שורש מיוחד בשנים עשר שבטים. Each one of us has a connection, a deep connection to one of the 12 shvatim. We all come from the 12 shvatim, correct? That's what this whole parsha about is Bamidbar. What's the whole parsha Bamidbar? Everybody counts, right? Everybody counts. That's what the whole point is. Every yid counts. Every single yid is special. Every single yid counts. Okay, Ba'arboyim b'teisha oisai shelahem. And then we said, that the names of the Shvatim, right? The names, if you write out Reuven, Shimon, Levi, Yehudi, Yisachar, Dan, right? You write out the 12 Shvatim, and you add up their name, you count the letters, you'll see that you have 49 letters. It's fascinating. Shehem kineged arboim b'teisha oisais sheb'shnei psukim elu kamuva b'simin hanal. As we learned, the Rabbi Nachman taught us in lesson 36 in Likutey Moran. It's a fascinating lesson. If you want to understand a little bit deeper, you could learn it over there. Rabbi Nachman is drawing the lesson from there, this lesson from there. Ukefiach izosai b'kedusha yoyne b'shneim also shiftei ka kein mitznaitzais lo yelekusa yizbarach b'libai. As you are connected up on high, right? So we said every day Hashem sends down this Or Pashat, right? Every day, right? So now you get, based on your connection up on high. In other words, when you're connected down here, what we do over here is connected to what's going on up on high, right? Remember, we learned that, right? What we do down here affects everything down up on high. Right? That's why if we said Chas v'Shalom, a person does something, if he does a mitzvah in this world, so he brings tikkun to the upper world. Right? And we said if a person Chas v'Shalom in this world does an aveira, he brings a pagam in the upper worlds. Right? And that's why we said that the Shema is so important, because the Shema can get me around all the other worlds, can get me around all of the what do you call it, the 24 courthouses. It can get around it. It can bring me straight up to the Keter. So this is really such an important lesson to understand really what the Shema is. And we learned that all our actions down here don't only affect things down here, but our actions affect things up on high at the same time. Okay, so basically, we're saying here, based on the B'kedusha Yoyne B'shneim also Shiftei Ka, the more I'm connected to my source down here, I understand that I'm part of Amcha Beis Yisrael. I'm part of the Shvat. I'm in part of the Shvatim, right? Like we did, in the beginning of Chodesh Nisan. So we have the Parshas HaNasi. Remember we learned that? The Parshas HaNasi, right? Every day you did the nut, when we did the inauguration of the Mishkan, right? When Moshe Rabbeinu was setting up and taking down the Mishkan, right? At the inauguration process. So each Shevet was bringing their own carbon, right? There's a whole set of carbonas. So every day we read another Nasi. We read another Nasi from another Shevet. And we said in the Tefillah, there's a Tefillah there, that if I'm part of this shevet, I want to be connected and make whatever tikkunim that I can. Right? So this is pretty much the same idea here. V'chein kol hayomim v'ashois sheklulim b'shneim also chadashim u'shneim also ashois hayom. All of time segment, all of the holidays, Shabbosim, everything is included in the 12 months. Everything's included in the time segments. Right, within the 12 hours, everything's included. Kulam kluyim be'ilu shnei psukim shema v'or shem. They're all connected to these psukim of Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad V'or Shem K'vay Mechus Elam V'chol Echad Kefi Achizosai. Based on my connection, how I connect to the Shvatim, how I connect to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, how I connect to the Shema. The more I connect to it, the more I can be inspired by it. V'shneim also shiftei ka u'kefi ba'oisei hayoim, and in that day. So that's why the day is important. That's why the days are included inside the Shema. The months are included inside it, and the Shvatim are included. Everything's included. The more I connect to this, I'm more connected to the time segments. I'm connected to what's going on. I'm connected up on high. Unbelievable. V'tzarech lekabel olav emunasai v'yichudai. Every day we have to accept upon ourselves the yichud of Hashem, the unity of Hashem, to unify myself with Hashem. Every day is special. And that's why we have the mitzvah to say the Kriya Shema every single day. That's why you don't make that statement just one time. Because every day you get a new light. Every day you have a new connection. Every day we have a new understanding of our HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Our Emunah is understood in another way. Ki ein adam daimel lechaveroi, like we said, based on the first lesson in Sichas Haran, right? The lesson of in wisdom, right? That ain't no ki ein adam daimel lechaveroi. No two people are compared to each other. There's no way anyone can my understanding of Hashem, your understanding of Hashem, every single Jew's understanding of Hashem is slightly different. It's slightly different. Not only is it different, but it's different each day. Each day it's different. Because again, the Shema is connected to all 12 months, all the 12 segment, the hours of the day, which is connected again to the different spheres and everything like that. There's no 2 days that are compared. Today is a special day, right? Today is the 45th day of the Sefira, right? There's not going to be another 45th day of the Sefira of Tafshin Pei Dalet of this year. That's it. That's today. Whatever I can accomplish today, I accomplish today. Tomorrow, it'll be another day, right? Tomorrow will be the 46th day of the Yom, right? Tomorrow will be something else. Tomorrow Shabbos Kodesh. It's something totally different. V'alkein anu mazhirim b'chol yoim. And that's why we're cautioned that every single day, every single day, every single day, everything's supposed to be new. Because every single day there's a new light. Every single day there's something special. Every single day is not compared to the other day. Rav Nosson can't spend more time to help us understand this. That there's no 2 days that are similar. You meet people in the street, they say, how are things? It's same old, same old. Nonsense. It's a brand new day today. Today's special. It has nothing to do with old. Old is old. It has nothing to do with that. We're new. We're invigorated. We're fresh. We had nothing to do with anything old. Okay, so that's a statement from the Sitra Achra. Anyone ever tells you that, that's mamash a statement of sheker, if there ever was a statement of sheker like that.
New, just like yesterday.
New like yesterday, yeah. But today is new. No. Today is new. The same way yesterday was new. Today is new. But today's a brand new newness.
Yeah, new like yesterday. Yesterday was new today, isn't it?
Okay. All right, now let's go here. Okay, let's go to Hay now. Okay, we understand this thing now. We understand. So Rav Nosson is really just showing us you see how deep everything that we have. Everything that we have is so deep, right? Everything that we have, there's such lessons in each thing, right? That we knew that we have 12 words connected to the 12 permutations, right? The denomination permutations of Hashem's name. Unbelievable. The 12 hours of each of the segment of the day, 12 hours of the segment of the night. Unreal. Understanding the 12 Shvatim, 49 letters is connected to the 49 letters of the Shiftei Kah, the 12 Shvatim all together. Unbelievable ideas. Unbelievable ideas from Baruch Hashem. Anyone have any questions on this? Can we go on to Hey? Can we move on? Yeah, we can go on? Okay, Baruch Hashem.
It's awesome.
It is awesome. It's
Unbelievably awesome.
When you just say these words, you don't realize really what's packed inside them. We have no idea. And this is only, Rav Nosson's touching the surface. It's much deeper than this. There's so much more. There's so much more that we have no inkling on. We have no idea. It's just infinite. It's infinite. The learnings are all infinite learnings. They just can keep going on and on and on. It's unbelievable. Yeah. All right. Let's go to Hey. V'chol adam tzarich leilech b'zeh l'kayim zois l'shtadel l'hochin atzmai l'hachnis b'liba Emunah kedosha b'chol yoyim chadash. Each one of us has to work on this. Good morning, Rav Yossi. Today we're going to learn down over here. It's Chodesh Tov. Yeah. Today we're going to learn down here because Winnie the Pooh is having a birthday party upstairs.
Did you see Winnie upstairs?
You have to go see Winnie the Pooh's upstairs. It's very important. Gewaldig. Yeah, okay. Chodesh Tov Mavorach L'Kulam. Yeah. Baruch Hashem. Okay, so b'chol adam tzarich leilech bazeu l'kayim zois l'shtada l'hochin atzmai l'hachnes beliba Emunah kedosha b'chol yoyim echadash. Each one of us has to have this new Emunah in us each day. We have to work on this. There's a new understanding of Hashem, a new Emunah today that was never here before, that will never be here again. And I have to try to tap into what's new today. What's new today? I have to tap into that. I have to work on it to be able to do that. This is the klal of the whole Torah. Because every day we get the Torah separate, is a new Torah. Like we said yesterday, Asher Anochi Mitzavecha Hayom. Hashem commands us today on the Torah. Today I have my Torah is a different understanding of Hashem, the different understanding of Torah today than I'll have of tomorrow or the next day. Which is lesson Hey, which is lesson 5 in Tinyana. Shetzrichen lisfasfesh es atzmai ulachapes es atzmai be'emunah kedosh. You have to search and investigate in oneself, right? We have to find in ourselves. We have to find the emunah that we have in Hashem. And again, that's a new emunah each day. It's a new understanding of Hashem each day. It's a beautiful idea. In other words, Yiddishkeit is always new. Yiddishkeit is always fresh. It's not because we say it's the same, like we learned yesterday. It's the same thing we had from Avraham Avinu. He taught us about Emunah. Yeah, that was Emunah then. That was Avraham Avinu's Emunah that he had at that time. But today it's totally new. Yes, we have a continuity. It went lidor. It went from each generation. We have the continuity. But each and every generation, it's something special. Each day it's something special. Each moment is something special. Yossi, we just learned before that in Kriya Shema there are 12 words. Right? There are 12 words. You have Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad and Baruch Shem. 12 words, right? Because we have 12 Shvatim, right? 12 Shvatim, right? And it's 49 letters because the letters of, if you spell out the names of the Shvatim, you'll see there's 49 letters in their names. Isn't that nice? Interesting, right? And then we said that there's also 12 months in the year. There are 12 hours in the day, 12 hours in the night. And there are 12 different permutations that you can make of Hashem's name, right? All connected to the Shema and the Baruch Shem. Isn't that amazing? And each day, that means all time segment, because all the 12 months, there's also 12 months, right? The 12 months are all in there, 12 months. Right, so 12 months, all time, everything's included in this statement of Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad, everything. And that's the Emunah, that's to be Mekabel, the old Malchus Shemai, right?
And we say the Shema, in the first 3 hours of the day, we get a special package, a special new package every day.
You get a special package that's already built for you, right? It doesn't have to be assembled.
No assembly.
No assembly required, right? If you learn it, if you did it in the first 3 hours, if you say the Shema in the right time, because then Hashem is also studying Torah. He's setting up the light and packaging it for you, what you need for that day, because Hashem understands what we need for that day. Isn't that amazing?
I do it in the first 30 minutes now.
It's fine. Yeah,
No, I know,
what we
I
said,
just-
the
I wanna do it
earlier, the earlier that you do it, is the light is stronger. The light is stronger earlier, right? Earlier you go, the earlier you can connect to Hashem. That's the strongest light that you could possibly get. That's the best package that you could possibly get. All right. Okay. I and Sham, take a look over there. Ki kol adam be'eza madrega shehu. Any person, whatever level they're on, and there are unlimited levels, right? There are unlimited levels in every segment, right? Whether a person is like we learned, if a person chas v'shalom is a Rasha, right? So there are unlimited levels between the Rishayim, right? There are unlimited levels, unlimited, right? And when it comes to Beinanim, right? When it comes to the middle guys, right? The middle Beinanim, right? Like the Tanya Sefer Beinanim, right? Tanya is the Sefer Beinanim, right? There are unlimited levels of Beinanim. And of course, for tzaddikim, there are little tzaddikim, great tzaddikim, and everyone in between. And everyone in between. So whatever level you find yourself on, afilu b'dyoita hatachtoin, if you find yourself on the lowest level, you find yourself at the lowest level, which Baruch Hashem, there's no Jew today that's on the lowest level, right? No, it doesn't exist.
Is there a limit? Is there a lowest level and a highest level? Or is there
No, there's unlimited levels. No, unlimited. It just keeps going down, down,
You're
down.
on the lowest level.
It goes down, 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 and up, up, up.
If you're on the lowest level, well, you're not, because there's something below you also.
No, if he thinks he is, if he thinks he's on the lowest level, right? We said if the guy thinks he's not literally on the lowest level, he thinks he's on the lowest level. But then we learned he can always think, you know something? Am I really on the lowest level? There was another guy that was much worse than me. Am I really on the lowest level? I'm not. So if I'm not on the lowest level, it means I can go back up.
The other thing that I thought about was that when you taught us about Hashem gives a person the thought when he's ready to reveal something to the world,
Yeah.
to the universe.
Yeah.
And then I thought about Abraham and Moshe. I mean, I thought they were given those thoughts. And then I started thinking about we're all given thoughts. Every day we get a new thought.
Every day we have a new thought of how to find Hashem in your life that day.
Well, I think it's also how to find ourselves in that day.
How to find yourself is finding Hashem.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what we're supposed to do.
Afilu b'dyoita tachtoni yochel lahargish b'libay elekusei mechodash im yate oznai v'levavai hetiv l'mashehu maitzi mipiv. So here's the thing. Remember, we keep saying, right? Kriya Shema, there's two requirements, right? Two requirements. You have to say the words, right? And you have to hear the words, and you have to understand the words, right? You have to understand. That's why we said you could say the Shema in any language that you'd like, right? You could say Shema in any language. But then we asked, how could you say Shema in any language if we know that Lashon HaKodesh is pure, right? And all the 70 languages are impure, right? And Aramaic is in between. Remember we learned that, right? The Aramaic is in between, right? So how can you say the Lashon HaKodesh? How can you say the Shema in any language? So he said that there's elikus in everything in the world, right? In every language. And when you use whatever language it is in order to describe Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad, right? In whatever language you use, you're revealing the elikus in that language, right? And that's how you're allowed to, that's the license that we have to be able to say the Shema in any language that we understand. Right? Right, but if a person doesn't understand, let's say Swahili, whatever language, right? And he says the Shema, then it's not going to help him, right? But if the person does understand it, he doesn't understand Hebrew, he doesn't understand Lashon HaKodesh, so then it will help him, right? But again, if you pay attention, this is how it works. This is what Reb Nassan's trying to stress here. You have to pay attention to what you're saying. If you don't just say the words, and you're just mumbling the words and you're not listening to what you're saying, you're missing the whole point, right? The whole thing, it runs away. This only works. Look what he says. This is amazing. If the person, look, afilu b'dyoita tachton, even if the guy finds himself on the lowest level, so how's he going to get out? Watch. Yochel lahargish. He can sense, he can understand, he can feel. Beliba in his heart. Elekusai mechodesh. He can understand in his heart, this guy on the lowest level, that he thinks he's on the lowest level. He, on the lowest level, can find Hashem in his heart. Listen to this. Im yate oznai, if he pays attention with his ears, he pays attention. Belibai hetiv lemashehu ma'itzi mipiv. What he just said. And I said, that's the caveat. If you can understand what you're saying and you're listening to what you're saying, then it can affect you, right? Then it can help you. But if you just say the words and you don't listen to the words, it's just going to go right up, whoosh, whoosh. It goes right over.
He's right. But
Yeah.
And you should listen to what
I'm
he's
glad
saying.
I'm glad you concur.
Yeah.
This is great.
I think you're right
Yeah,
too.
it makes sense, but it does say Shema, like he really jumps on.
Shema, like we said yesterday, there's a news flash.
The Kiddush, though,
There's a chiddush, right? We said yesterday, why we asked the question yesterday, why do we say Shema Yisrael? We could just say Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad. Why do you have to say Shema? You say, Shema, listen, I got some news to tell you.
right? But
Listen
even
up!
then, he translates that into
Yeah.
whatever language you understand, as if, like, I guess until that time, they were always they had the Hebrew, and they assumed every Jew knew.
No, Chazal understood that every Jew did not understand the Hebrew. And that's why they said you could say the Shema, and the halacha is, you could say Shema in any language you want. That's the halacha.
Where, like, it doesn't.
If you look up in Shulchan Aruch, Hilchas Kriya Shema, you could say Shema in any language you'd like. Any language you like, no problem. For that matter, you could say anything, all tefillah you could say in any language that you understand. Shema is the most important thing, right? So of course, any part of tefillah that you want to connect to Hashem, you can connect to Hashem, right?
And Rav Nassim, at the beginning of this door, has a prayer about every word. Let me hear it in my heart, hear it in my head. I mean,
Let it resonate.
let it resonate. Yeah.
Let it resonate in all my limbs, right? Well, we learned about it in the Shema. We say the Shema. It's supposed to bring me such a joy when I recognize this idea. Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad. It brings me such a joy that we said that there's 248 words in all of Shema. Remember we learned that, right? There are 248 words. There are 248 positive commandments, and there are 248 organs in our bodies, right? So when I say the Shema, right, and I say it, and I really understand this, and I'm really good with it, I really accept it. So then when I'm actually doing is I can infuse simcha in all of my organs, right? We said it goes based on the 10 pulses, right? 10 levels of joy, 10 levels song, 10 levels, the 10 different pulses, right? Remember we learned all of that, right? I'm just trying to remind you all these different lessons we had, right? Rav Nassim taught us all these beautiful ideas. Unbelievable, right? There are 10 different pulses, right? There are 10 different levels of song, 10 different songs. David HaMelech has in Tehillim 10 different levels of song, 10 different songs, right? Connected to the 10 different pulses in our body, right? And when we say the Shema with a great joy, so then we're infusing simcha in all of our organs, and then we can bring refuah and Yeshua to anything that we need based on the Shema. It's really, this is the answer to all of our problems, right here, Shema.
I have to say, it's even the Shema. I think you can expand on it. Like there was a guy in the news yesterday that said that if you listen to what each nation says, you can tell them about what problems they have or how they think about things. Like when Hamas says we want to kill all the Jews, and no one believes them.
Yeah.
They didn't hear it.
It's okay. We're just going to say the Shema and watch everything will be okay. If every Jew would do this and listen to what they're saying, and Mamish believe that, we'd win we'd win everything. Really, everything would be, this is the answer. But we just have to listen to it. That's the point. We have to take the time to listen to what we're saying. Say the words in a way that we listen. And let me read it one more time. It's unbelievable. Afilu iluk ki kol adam be'ezem madrege shehu. Anyone, whatever level they find themselves on. So whether you find yourself on the level of the tzaddik or the beidini or chas v'shalom, you find yourself on the level of the rush. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Wherever part of the spectrum you find yourself in. Okay? Afilu b'yoyte atachtoina. Yochel lahargish b'libay. We can read this a few times, right? Yochel lahargish b'libay. You can feel in your heart. Every time it says the heart, it's in your mind also. The heart's connected to the mind, right? So you can feel in your heart and know in your mind, okay? Elokusei mechodash ki im yate oznai livovai heitiv lemashu maitzi mipiv. You just have to listen to what we're saying. That's it. You got to listen to what you're saying. Don't listen to what your neighbor is saying. Don't listen to what your friends say. Listen to what you're saying. That's the point. I just said these words. Wow. I just said these words. That means if I said these words, I should believe these words. Right? Or else why did I say them? Because we said the whole thing is based on Emunah. Why do we daven? Because we believe Hashem is listening. Right? Why do we daven? We believe Hashem is listening. So that's why we daven. We don't daven for any other reason. Right? Okay, any questions on this? Do we understand? Do we all believe this idea? If we would listen to what we're saying and it would resonate in us, it would change the whole gamut. Everything would change. Everything would change. Bezel bechinas shema bechol loshain sha'ata shemeya. Here we go. And that's what it means. The Shema is in any language that you hear, that you understand. That's what it means, shemeya, that you understand, that you can listen to, that you understand. Right? That you can understand. That you can understand. Shehem klal hashivim l'shonos. That's included in the 70 different languages. Like we mentioned, right? The 70 different languages. Right? There are 70 different languages. Okay, today they'll tell you there's like 190 or something countries, but they're not real countries. They're 70 nations, and they're just offshoots of these different nations. There are 70. Okay? There were 70 Jews that went down to Egypt, right, connected to Yaakov Avinu, 70 nations, 70 languages, right? See how everything's connected, right? On our side, we had 70 people went down to Egypt. On the other side is all the nations of the world. 70. Isn't it great? It's 70, yeah. Yeah. Lashon Sha'ata Shemeya. Shehem klal hashivim l'shonos shebahem nechazim kol taivos umidos rois kayadua. In all the nations of the world, they all have their different taivos. They all have their different things, right? Hashem, we're coming up to Shuas, right? So Hashem went to each nation, and He offered them the Torah, and they said Maksibbe. What does it say in the Torah, right? So he went to Esav, and it said you can't kill. Oh, hey, we can't accept that. That's what we like doing. We can't do that. And Hashem went to each nation. He knew exactly what taiva that they were connected to, and He told them, "Hey, the Torah says this in there." Right?
What was our taiva?
We said Nasa v'nishma.
Well, no, but what was
Hashem came to us, and we said Nasa v'nishma.
It was. Oh, we never said what's in it, right?
We didn't say what's in it. We have a Torah for you. Nasa v'nishma.
Would have said to us.
Huh?
I wonder what Hashem would have said to us when it came to
How about we don't have to wonder about that?
Or if those other guys did say, "Okay, I'll accept it," what it would have looked like would have been our Torah.
But Hashem knew already. Come on, no. He did that, so therefore they won't have any, and that's what we learned. That's why we had Hashem gave them Bilam, right? He was a Navi, because they'll say, hey, when Mashiach is going to come, and then they're going to have all their problems. They'll say, well, it's not our fault. If we would have had a Navi, you gave them Moshe Rabbeinu. If we had a Navi, then we would have done the right thing also. Oh yeah, but I gave you a Navi, Bilam. Look what he did. Right? Now he offered you the Torah, but you didn't want it. Right? It's unbelievable, right? Hashem did that all just because He loves Klal Yisrael. Don't you understand? B'ni b'chayri Yisrael. Right? Hashem said, B'ni b'chayri Yisrael. Right? So again, He went through the formality. Right? Hashem went through the formality of offering the Torah to everybody else. And they rejected it, but he went through the formality. But they rejected it. It was all recorded, right? Hashem had his right. The guy was everything was being recorded. Everything they said is all recorded. Hashem can show it to them. Here, this is what you said. Here's your statement. This is the statement you made. You didn't want it. What do you want? Here's Bilam. He's in the Torah. See, we had Bilam in the Torah. This is your prophet, right? So the 70 nations of the world have all of their different taivas, all of their different nonsense, right? The 70 nations of the world. It doesn't matter where we were scattered around the world, right? HaKadosh Baruch Hu scattered us all around the world, right? It's a fascinating. There's a very fascinating lesson from Rab Nosson that he brings in Hilchas Birchas Hareach. Amazing idea on this lesson, based on this over here. Why did HaKadosh Baruch Hu send us out to all the other? The Gemara says that Hashem sent us out in order to make Gerim, right? Hashem sent us out that we would make Gerim, right? Converts, right? Because we would be in all the different nations of the world, and we're such a nice people, and we follow the Torah, and we're so kind, right? And then our neighbors would see how nice we are and how kind we are, and there are many stories like that. There are many stories like that we have. There are many recorded stories that Jews were living in certain areas, and they had Gentiles as their neighbors, and the Gentiles were so impressed with the way the children were. They were so impressed with the families and everything else that they joined Klal Yisrael, right? Right, like the stories that you told me, right? Yes, you have your stories, right? All these beautiful stories, right? Who knows, right? But if we weren't in those places, those stories can never happen, right? Those stories can never happen. But the Arizal says something amazing. He says that, and then maybe we'll finish with that because it's already getting late. The Arizal, but it's very good to say this piece over here. He says that the Arizal says that we were scattered around the nations of the world. We were scattered around in order to bring us back to Eretz Yisrael. And everyone's amazed by that. What does the Arizal mean that we were scattered around the world in order to bring us back to Eretz Yisrael? So Rav Nosson brings down in Hilchas Birchas Hareach. It's fascinating. He says, I don't understand. He says, I know. Like Rav Nosson was writing in his day. He said, what about the Jew that made his way to Moscow? Right? The Jew that made his way to Moscow at that time. That was the Haskalah, right? The Enlightened movement was very strong. And the headquarters of the Haskalah was in Moscow, right? So if a Jew would make his way from a little shtetl in Ukraine or somewhere, a little shtetl in any of the places in Russia, right? He would make his way to Moscow. How would he ever come back to Eretz Yisrael? How is he ever going to get back there? He'll get messed up with the Enlightened movement, then how's he ever going to get anywhere, right? Or these Jews that go to India, right? They go out to India, they go out to all these different places, right? They're trying to find themselves, right? We have that today too, right? They're trying to find themselves. They go to the strangest places. So if they're in Eretz, and Rab Nosson says, if we were in Eretz Yisrael, right? We had the Beis Hamikdash, right? We had the Nevi'im, we had the Beis Hamikdash, right? We had everything. And we couldn't get it right when we were in Eretz Yisrael. If we get scattered around, how is that going to bring us back to Eretz Yisrael? It's a pretty good question, right?
That's the very reason.
Wait a second. That's a very good question, Rab Nosson asked, right? It's a very good question. What does the Arizal mean? What does the Arizal mean that we're going to come back to Eretz Yisrael? We're scattered in order to come back. So Rab Nosson explains, and that's why it's in Hilchas Birchas Hareach. He explains so beautifully that there are different nitzitzes, there are different sparks, right? Different sparks that were scattered around the world from Sheishis Yimei Breishis, right? Hashem, he was making worlds and he shattered worlds. Remember, right? He shattered worlds, right? Right? It was called the Shviras HaKelim, right? Hashem broke the Kelim, right? So those shards. He's singing a song. That's good. So those Kalim, those shards scattered around the world, and they went to the most remote places. Hashem scattered, they were scattered in the most remote places. And that's another reason why when we were in the desert, right? We were in the desert, right? We stayed in the desert for 40 years, and we camped in 42 different places, right? We went 42 different journeys, right? It's connected to the Ana B'Choach, right? There's 42, right? So many different things to learn about, right? The Ana, 42 journeys, 42 words in Ana B'Choach, right? And why were we there? Sometimes we were there overnight. Sometimes we were there for a month. Sometimes we were in a place for a year. Why is that? Because again, in the desert, that's where most of the sparks were scattered. Most of the sparks were scattered in the desert. Why? Because the Sitra Achar, he understood when all of these sparks would be recollected, when they would be collected and they would all be brought back, right? That would be his end. So he manipulated it in a way that the sparks would be in the most remote places. So when we went to the desert, there were so many different sparks in those places. So some places that we camped, there was only a few little sparks. We did our mitzvahs, we connected to Hashem, we did what we ever did in that place, and we were able to lift up those sparks. Perfect. That's why we had to do only a short journey, and sometimes we were there a longer time based on how much work we had to do in that location, right? So then he says a Jew goes now to a remote place, right? He finds himself in India somewhere, right? He finds himself wherever, in China, in some mountain somewhere, right? And there's a spark there. So he comes by, and this spark is mereach. It senses, it smells that there's a neshama. The spark, hey, there's a Jew coming by here. So you would think that's a great thing, right? That's a great thing. That the spark is going to connect now to this Jew. Well, yeah, it's a great thing. But the problem is the spark was there since the creation of the world. Now it's Tavshin Pei Dalet, right? Right, 5,744, right? So it's many years, and that spark was covered over by a lot of schmutz, a lot of garbage got covered over it. So now when this spark, and the Jew goes by, and the spark connects himself to that Jew, right? So now this Jew gets brought down a little bit more because he has all of that schmutz, all of that stuff that was connected to that spark that now connects itself to that Jew. So Rav Nosson says, he asked the question, so when he
collects this spark, it's actually bringing him down.
It brings him down. Yeah, so the Arizal asks at that point, so Rav Nosson's asking based on the Arizal, so how is that Jew ever going to come back to Eretz Yisrael? How's he going to come back? It just brought him down. You said that because we were scattered out and around the world, we'll come back. But now if the spark was going to bring down the Jew, so then how is it going to bring him back? Yeah. Rav Nosson says, and he explains like this. He says every time that Jew now, he has this spark in him, right? This Jew that doesn't know about Hashem, or he's trying to run away from Hashem, whatever it is. It doesn't matter where, why, whatever brought him to that place. It doesn't matter what brought him there. So this spark, he has it in him now. And now he's going to make more mistakes. Right? He's going to make more mistakes because he has all this schmutz, all this stuff that's attached to him. But now Rav Nosson explains that every time he does that, he takes that spark and he re-breaks the spark. He takes the spark with a mallet and he smashes the spark. Each time he does an Aveira, he smashes the spark. He breaks it down again, he breaks it down again, he breaks it. And Rav Nosson says he's going to keep doing that until that spark is going to be so small. It'll be such a little morsel. It'll be so tiny that even his neshama can accept it at that level. It'll be so small because he broke it so many times. But there's just a little tiny morsel that's left. And that'll go into his neshama.
It's without the schmutz. It's more pure.
Right. It's pure because he knocked it all off. He knocked everything off. But there's a little part of it that's pure, that touches his neshama. When it touches his neshama, then his neshama starts to wake up. It wakes up his neshama.
It supersedes whatever schmutz.
Yeah, exactly. The schmutz was only there in order to bring out this point that the neshama should be awakened. That's what it was all about. And then the Jew starts to look, where is there Hashem, right? Like the guy you told me yesterday in the Finger Mountains, right? The guy's sitting there all by himself, and he's trying to figure out what time to say Shema. Come on. Right? Yossi, come on, is that amazing? The guy's sitting in some mountain somewhere. Right? And this is happening in all the places. This is really what's going on today. Right? Esha Torah today, right? All these people contact them from the strangest places. They'll tell you the strangest stories of the way people come into them. The way they look up online. They look up online Torah. Yeah.
You've got people listening to this right now. Where are they?
Okay, but the guys here that are listening, at least they want to learn something about Torah. No, but I'm saying, no, but they have guys, they have guys that are going to, let's say, Esha Torah, right? Esha Torah that literally know nothing, and they want to learn something. They want to learn something, they want to find out. They want to discover. They're trying to discover who they are, where they are, what they are, right? And they come back. And it's amazing. So it doesn't matter. So based on what we're learning over here, that it doesn't matter what level you find yourself on. If you can come to say the Shema, right? And if you could say it in the right time, especially if you could say it in the right time in the morning, right? In the morning with us, so the first 3 hours, and you could say the Shema, and you could say the words in whatever language you understand. It makes no difference what language, right? Because we said there's elikus in every language, right? In every language is a spark of holiness in every language. And if you can use that language in order to describe Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Yud Kei Vav Kei, the God of mercy, is Elokeinu, the God of judgment, the God of might and power and punishment, right? It's the same. Hashem Echad, you're really one. If you can do that, and you can and you could listen and it can touch your heart, so then you can come back to Hashem. And that's what we want, and we hope that everybody comes back to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And this is really what it's all about. This is really what it's all about. Every Jew coming back to Hashem.
A quick story. I saw a blog on a girl who was kidnapped into Gaza.
Okay.
And before she was, for some reason, she needed a prayer. So the prayer was Psalm 27.
Okay.
And she said this thing.
Beautiful.
She said the Psalm, and she practically memorized it, and then she was kidnapped. And she's in there, and there was this other younger girl with her who was so scared. And then she said, Hashem, now I know why you have me here. It's to help this girl.
See that? That's
And
what
then the Hamas people couldn't understand why she was so happy. She was smiling. I said, what's wrong with you?
What's wrong with you? You're here in the pit of hell with us.
Yeah.
What are you doing? How can you be happy? Yeah. Because you have Hashem, you can be happy no matter where you are. Right? There were stories of Jews. There were stories of Jews that were in Auschwitz, and they were besimcha. Yeah. How do we understand that? How do we understand that? They watched their family being murdered, right? They saw their family being murdered. They watched them going up in smoke. They watched that, and the guy was okay with it. Because he was with Hashem. He understood. Hashem, you have your plans. I have no idea what it means. I have no idea, right?
Just heard a story of a group of Hasidim who were in Italy for a kosher tour, and I guess there's tzaddikim they were visiting somehow.
Yeah, there's a lot of tzaddikim in Italy.
And they said to the tour guide,
Ramchal comes from Italy.
They said, it's going to be close to sundown, stop at a gas station, we want to daven mitzvah. So the tour guide goes, you guys are nuts, no way, we're not doing a public display of prayer, it's anti-Semitism, and people might just bring attention to yourself, I told you, the times are tense right now. Don't actively go to the side of a...
This happened now? This is a recent story. Okay, a recent story.
Where was this?
In Italy.
Italy. This guy said, you're not, you're crazy, we don't care, we're telling you, you gotta stop, and he said, I really don't want to, fine. He ends up stopping, at a rest stop by a highway in Italy. So they do that, and while they're there, this Harley Davidson biker, tattoos, long hair guy pulls up next to them, ends up joining the minyan with them, and at the end to say Kaddish, he starts saying Kaddish and breaks down, and couldn't believe it, and finally finishes Kaddish, and they said, well, what's your story? So he says, I grew up religious, and I was the only child of my father, And you know, before my father died, he said, please, I just asked that you do one thing, which is say Kaddish for me. Are you crazy? You know, I'm already off the derech, we're all tattooed up. We have nothing to do with each other. Like this mouth which curses and eats trait, like you don't want it saying Kaddish for you. He's like, look, at least, you know, can you just say one day a year? He's like, fine, you know, I'll do that. That was like his last request for me. And the truth is, over the last number of years, I would always have to try to find I would try to find a place where I can go ahead and say Kaddish for him and for his yard site. Today it turns out was his yard site. I totally forgot about it. I realized already when I'm on the road, you know, like today I'm going cross country, Italy somewhere, and I realized it's
It's not going to work out this year.
It's not going to work out this year. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And then you guys pull up. You guys pull up and show us his plan, and I don't know.
It's all Hashem's plan. If we just believe that Hashem has the plan, that's the answer. I wish everyone a good Shabbos, a good Chodesh, and a Besorah Tova.